Kemi Badenoch has made a bold move on immigration, but let's be clear, this isn't a smart move. In fact, it's one of the most absurd and reckless proposals we've seen in years. Let's break it down. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, why are you so fired up about this? It's just another day, another nonsensical policy proposal from a government that seems to specialize in nonsensical policy proposals. And you're not wrong, but there's something particularly egregious about this one. It's like they took all the worst ideas about immigration, threw them in a blender with a healthy dose of cruelty, and poured out this legislative smoothie of suffering. So, what exactly is this plan that has me spitting metaphorical fire? Badenoch wants to make it significantly harder for migrants to become British citizens. She wants to block citizenship for those who have received government benefits. If you've ever needed help from the government, you can kiss your chances of becoming British goodbye. This policy sounds like it was drafted on the back of a napkin during a pub quiz.
Let's talk about the human cost of this policy, because this is about real people. Hard-working individuals who contribute to British society and might need a little help.
This policy targets the most vulnerable, those fleeing war and persecution, those working in essential jobs who wouldn't normally need benefits. This isn't just bad policy, it's morally bankrupt.
Now, let's put aside the moral implications for a moment and talk about the economic clusterfuck this plan represents. Because if there's one thing this government claims to care about, it's the economy. The UK, my friends, needs migrants. They fill crucial roles in the NHS, construction, agriculture, and countless other sectors. Imagine a Britain where thousands of migrant workers, those propping up entire industries, suddenly disappear because they no longer see a future here. Who's going to pick your fruits and vegetables? Who's going to staff your hospitals and care homes? Who's going to build your houses and fix your roads? This isn't just short-sighted. It's economic self-sabotage on a grand scale.
Look, if the goal is to reduce reliance on benefits, there are smarter, more humane ways to do it. Here's a radical idea. Instead of punishing those who need help, how about we address the systemic issues that create the need in the first place? Support small businesses, invest in struggling communities, create opportunities outside of major cities. Instead of forcing people into permanent exclusion, use policies that promote economic mobility and decentralization. Want fewer migrants on benefits in London? Stop funneling all the resources and opportunities into London. It's not rocket surgery. It's basic common sense.
Here's the harsh truth, the bitter pill that Badenoch and her ilk seem determined to ignore. This policy won't just hurt migrants, it will damage Britain's global reputation. The UK will be seen as a nation that punishes its most vulnerable, a country that turns its back on those who need it most. And let's not forget the British economy relies on migrant contributions. If they leave, if they are driven away by this short-sighted cruelty, the UK's economy could face an even deeper crisis than we saw after Brexit. This isn't about protecting Britain, it's about scoring cheap political points on the backs of the most vulnerable, and frankly, it's shameful. Kemi Badenoch might think she's protecting Britain, but in reality, she's creating a humanitarian crisis, an economic disaster, and a national embarrassment. Policies should be smart, fair, and effective. This plan, it's none of those things. It's a mean-spirited, short-sighted, and ultimately self-defeating policy that will hurt everyone in the long run. It's time for the UK to do better, to be better, because the world is watching, and right now what they're seeing isn't pretty. For more real discussions on politics and society, subscribe to MJ TV and stay informed.